Today on Live at 4, Decision 2016 will continue in Wisconsin as two third-party candidates have filed paperwork demanding a recount.
Officials from the Green Party and the Independent Party filed paperwork within the last hour asking for that recount. Green
Party officials say they've heard from computer scientists and election lawyers, and they're raising questions about the election's integrity. At a news conference this afternoon, the group insists their push for a recount is not about changing the results.
We are not doing this to the benefit of one candidate over the other. We're doing this for the benefit of the American public so that we can trust that our votes are counted.
The Green Party says they have raised more than $4 million, which they claim to want to use to fund the $1.1 million recount bill in Wisconsin and possibly two other states. The director of the state Republican Party issuing a response to the possible recount, saying in part, Jill Stein's decision to pursue a recount is absurd and nothing more than an expensive political stunt that undermines Wisconsin's election process. Now, for more on how all this is going to work, we're going to be talking about this for the next couple of weeks. Mike Mastelman's in the building today. He's a Milwaukee-based lawyer specializing in election law.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Shannon.
Hey, I think the first question is, if there is to be a discrepancy found in Wisconsin or possibly in Michigan and the other state that they're looking to ask the recount, could it really change this election?
Theoretically, at least in Wisconsin, it could, but the likelihood is pretty extreme, I think.
The margin right now is about 22,000 vote lead for Donald Trump in Wisconsin. That number has shrunk as we've done the canvasses of various municipalities around the state. Seems like a pretty big percentage-wise margin to switch even in a statewide recount.
Right. So there's about 3 million votes that were cast in the presidential election, and about 10.7% of the votes cast in the primary were cast on electronic voting machines. So those are what some of the election folks and computer folks are saying could be susceptible to hacking. Those are the ones, not the paper ballots that are in a majority of the state, including Milwaukee and the larger municipalities.
So walk us through the process. What are we looking at? Now that they have filed, what will the Elections Commission have to do to validate those ballots?
So what took place when the Elections Commission found out that this might be coming down the pike, they sent out an email to all of the municipal clerks around the state, giving them a heads up. Of course, everybody was on Thanksgiving break at the time. Both of the candidates filed their recall petitions about 20 minutes or so ago. They did not have to pay the amounts because the Wisconsin Election Commission doesn't know exactly what the actual costs will be. Just a little history. Before, a number of years ago, you didn't have to pay the actual amount of the costs. It was a formula. Legislation changed that, and now they have to actually pay what the municipal clerks are going to come back with and say these are our estimates of what it's going to cost. Those payments will probably be made on Monday or Tuesday of next week. At the same time, contiguously, the clerks are going to be gearing up to prepare for the recount. They're going to probably have to hire a number of temporary workers to come in and to set up and to begin the process. The process, there's three important dates that we need to keep in mind. December 13th is the date that votes have to be certified in Wisconsin. Okay, and so and then the next date would be December 19th, when the Electoral College meets and sends their votes to Congress. And then on June 6th is when Congress then opens up and determines and actually counts the votes. So that's the process. They have a very short window of time to do it. Very short window of time to do it.
Are we going through tapes and records and other logs of votes cast, or are we going to be, I spent a week in Florida in 2000 during that state's recount, the hanging chad recount, where you saw people holding ballots up to the light trying to discern voter intent.
Right.
How granular do we get with this recount?
Not at all. Typically, the only issues that come up if you look at a ballot and somebody was supposed to connect the line and they circled it instead. Those are few and far between, no hanging chads. And the candidates and the campaigns are going to be looking really at the voting machines to see if somehow someone was able to log in, rig in, or put some type of a software malware on it that would flip votes. The simple thing is those are the municipalities that they're going to be looking at the actual ballots as opposed to what went on the touch screen. So the touch screen should then will print out a tape of what the actual votes were, and whether the machine counted it correctly is a different thing. Exactly.
All right, Mike Mason, we're going to keep you on speed dial here for the next couple of weeks. Thanks so much
Steve.
for coming in today.
Thanks, Shannon.
No problem.